Testimony you're about to give in this cause is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Willette Dixon, would you state your full name for the record, please?
Willette Dixon.
And how do you spell your middle name?
STRAWDER.
Okay, thank you.
Joe, could we just have everybody identify themselves for the record?
Sure. Why don't we start with you?
Yeah, my name's Robert Rush. I'm attorney for the defendant, City of Alachua.
Marion Rush, I'm an attorney for the City of Alachua.
Clovis Watson Jr., City Manager, City of Alachua.
Michael Canny, plaintiff.
Louis Washington.
Charlie Grasky.
And I'm Joe Little, counsel for the plaintiffs.
Shauna Duran.
And Malcolm.
Very good, thank you.
I'm Joe Little, and I represent these plaintiffs in this action. And this is a deposition. Have you ever given a deposition before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you know what it's all about. And I'm going to be asking you some questions, and Mr. Rush may ask you some questions later on. And so you listen real carefully, and if you don't understand the question, just tell me and I'll try to ask the question again so that you do understand it. Now, you live in Alachua, Florida,
Yes, sir.
and are you a registered voter
Yes, sir.
in the city of Alachua
Yes,
for
sir.
those elections? And have you discussed this deposition with anybody before coming here today?
No, not really. Not today or nothing like that.
Okay. And you and I came in together, but you and I didn't talk anything about what I was going to ask you, did we?
No.
Now, I'm going to ask you some questions about the Alachua City election that took place in April, I think, of this year. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And since the election, you've had an occasion to discuss matters about the election with a number of people, haven't you?
Yes.
Including Mr. Grafsky here and Mr.
Yeah.
Washington
Yes.
and Miss Shauna behind me. Okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Watson, maybe.
Yes. And
Okay.
most everybody here, most of the stuff.
All right. Now, I understand that you have no dissatisfaction with the vote you cast in the election.
I have no problem with it.
Okay. And you don't have any desire whatsoever to make trouble for anybody at all.
Non-stop.
Okay.
Well,
But you will tell the truth to us today about what you remember as occurred when you voted.
yeah. That's true.
All right. And you understand that the oath that the lady gave a while ago that you're supposed to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure we all understand
Okay.
what's going on here. Now, on about April 29, and you may not remember the date, you did meet with Mr. Grabsky and Mr. Washington and Mr. Canny to discuss the matter, did you not?
And another lady.
And another lady, wasn't this lady behind me, wasn't showing
She went to the tables. The other.
somebody else. And you later discussed the matter with Mr. Watson.
When I saw him like weeks or so, whenever I got run into him, I told him what was going. I told him I was going to let him know what was going on.
Yeah. Now, do you recall that you went to the city hall of the city of Alachua about, I think, on April the 10th to pay a utility bill?
Yes, I went. I can't what date, but I know I went to pay the light bill.
Yeah.
And then I found out the next day, I guess for Shauna, that it was the next day of voting or something that they had voted.
Yeah.
And that's when she went to talk to me about voting.
Yeah.
The voting. That's when I didn't even know I had forgot all about it, really.
Now, when you went to the city hall to pay the bill, you didn't go there to vote, did you? You went there to pay the light bill.
Well, I went to pay the light bill, but I knew it was close time to vote. But what day I'd be so busy.
Right. Now, do you recall that when you entered City Hall on that day, did Mr. Watson greet you and say hello to you?
Well, we always talk. Yeah,
Right.
we went to talking. We was talking about some other things first that I had been talking to him about helping me do.
And did he say to you, you know, you can vote today if you want to?
Yeah, he said you can vote here. here at the city hall. And I was like, oh, you can?
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I didn't know all these years you can vote at the city hall. He said, yeah, you can do it absentee ballot.
Yeah. And did you say to him, well, I really haven't been following the election, so I don't know who to vote for?
Well, I asked him, I said, well, who is the people that's running anyway? I said, I told him that I used to see a sign in my yard, a brother, the man used to put a sign in the yard, but he didn't, Richardson.
Richardson, yeah.
But I knew it was time to vote, but I
Right.
didn't really, you know. I saw people side the road and stuff like that.
But he said, Mr. Watson reminded you you could vote. I told
Yeah, he
you.
just told me I could
Right.
vote. He reminded me, and that was great for him.
And he suggested to you that Mr. Lewis had more experience of the people voting, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
What did he say?
He just told me who the two people was voting,
Mhm.
who their name was. And I went ahead and took him my light bill, and he showed me to go into that room where this tall man was. I don't know his name. And he went on where he needed to go, and I went in there and told the man I wanted to vote. And he gave me a paper, and I looked at it and read it or whatever. I can't remember signing it. I can't remember, it wasn't no question or nothing. The man really was quiet. He didn't say anything to me. All I did is did it and gave it back to the man.
And where was he when you were doing that?
The man,
Yeah.
he was standing like, I think he was standing on the other side of the office. Cause one time he did go out, so I think he was standing on the other side, and I handed it to him.
Yeah.
Or he came back in, and I handed it to him.
Now, when he handed it to you, he just gave you the ballot. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. And then you voted and gave it back to him.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall whether you signed anything or not?
I can't remember. Signed because it happened so fast.
Yeah. And then after you voted and gave the ballot back to the man.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that he put it in an envelope?
Yeah, he put it in an envelope.
Do you remember whether he sealed it?
I think he sealed it. I believe he sealed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, I don't know if he put it in a box or drawer, or someone put it in a box or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know, I gave it to him, and I think he did what he needed to do with it.
But you didn't have to sign anything.
I can't remember signing.
Okay. Now, had Mr. Watson told you that one of the men had more experience than the other?
No, he never went to that conversation.
And after you gave the ballot back to the man in the room, do you know whether let me digress and ask you. Do you know whether that man was Mr. Henderson?
I see him when I go through my light bill now. I never say nothing to him, ask his name.
You don't know what his name is?
Don't know
but
his
you
name.
still see him there?
I see him there.
Okay. And did Mr. Watson say to you that you should vote for Mr. Lewis?
No, he didn't. He told me who the two people's name was, but he never suggested who I should vote to, get in details, or I should vote for this person, or whatever. He never got in that detail.
Okay. Now, after you gave the ballot back to the man, and he put it in the envelope and did whatever he did with it, you went outside, and you then met Mr. Watson again outside.
I saw him. I saw him again.
And he asked you which one you voted for.
No, he didn't.
What did he say to you?
I asked him. What you said those two people's name was. I asked him that.
Right.
He didn't ask me who I voted for.
Okay.
He asked me. I asked him who was the two people's name were.
And what did he tell you?
He told me their name again.
Okay.
I said, let me go back in here and see who I vote for.
Uh-huh. And so you went back in, and then what happened?
I asked Mr. The voting man, the man.
Yeah.
He gave me my envelope, like he
Okay.
turned his head,
Okay.
and I looked in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I looked at it again, and I looked at the names, and then I